welcome to another series of BK Play, and I am very excited to start this new series on a game called Cloudbuilt by Coilworks, or Coilwork, I'll have to check. Either way, this is a third-person platformer, very mouse-driven, very PC, very different compared to your typical more console-driven platformer, and it is absolutely fantastic. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. I'm playing the original release, not the 2017 Super Cloud-Built version that they made, because it's not really available and it's not super supported anymore. This is the version to get. It still gets updates and stuff, so you know, kudos to the developers for that. This is an incredibly good, really fun, really addicting, well-designed game, and I'm very excited to take a look at it because not that many people have played it on the internet. It's not really that popular, but I think it should be. So let's get started. It is a not super story-driven game, but it does have some character monologuing, so I'm going to be quite silent for the initial portions of the game just to let the characters speak their thoughts. But without further ado, let's start a new game and get into Cloudbuilt.
Where am I?
Yeah, where are we? Huh. This is basically the introductory section. It's that typical, you know, protagonist has no idea where they are, they're following a
That's quite a drop.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to be aware of when the character speaks. As you can see, we can drop down. The default field of view is quite... Well, actually, no, it wasn't quite as wide as this. I made it this wide because I like a nice field of view, alright?
What is this place?
It's a very pretty place. This game has a very nice little bit of art direction going on. Let's just see if we can... If we can finally find a way to not talk over the main character here. We're gonna have to jump, do a bit of parkour. Yes, it's a very parkour-driven game, as you can see. I'm expecting her to talk.
How am I to make sense of this?
Well, you don't. This is an abstract 3D platformer. You don't have to make sense of it. Oh boy, there you go. This is before we get our...
So where do I go from here?
Well, over there. This is before we get our abilities that will be very useful to us later on in the game, so it's kind of weird playing this because I'm having a really hard time, like, adjusting to not having my jetpack, because that's what you have in the game later on. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get up there using nothing but the basics of the movement engine, although it is very robust, really fun to use. Maybe I'm supposed to run all the way over here and then find my way up. I'm not sure. Also, you might have noticed that the game has a cel-shaded art style going on. Now, something else this game does visually, which I have actually disabled for the sake of this playthrough, is this thing called hatching, I think. Hashing. It's this graphical option right here. Video, no hatching. I've set it to this. It's like a pencil shading kind of effect. I've disabled it because, quite frankly, I'm horrified to think of what YouTube's compression algorithm might do to these videos.
Oh, damn.
Okay, Shadow.
Other options as well, I guess.
Come on, there you go. Let's get up there. It's really... It's so weird.
Over there, huh?
It's so weird playing without the jetpack. We'll get it soon enough, though. Don't worry. This isn't one of those overly drawn-out, you know, intro portions of a game. It'll be over in just a bit, and then we'll be playing the game the way it's supposed to be played with my full move set, and it's awesome and fun, and I'm going the wrong way. I'm gonna have to go over here again. Everything you see here is adjustable. I can change the camera distance and such. What the fuck is going on? Come on. Make it. I can hit F to reset, though, so that's nice. Not R, but F to reset. That's quite interesting. And there you go. We're going to go over here, follow the light, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the intro section. It should be getting close to the end. We're going to have a bit more narrative. Yep, down there. You can drop down. I never really used that feature, to be honest.
This place is so strange.
Well, it's not that strange.
This door seems to be working.
Okay, I think at this point I gotta shut my mouth because we're gonna have... Yeah, okay. Cutscene time.
Reconstruction is complete. Mental integration of neural repairs is beginning. You are asleep and may experience misfiring of neurons for up to several hours as biological and electronic components synchronize. Use this room to retain mental stability during the process. We thank you for your service to your country and will do everything in our power to provide a speedy recovery.
So basically the entire game takes place in this room. Have fun. No, just kidding. This is our little PC right here, a very modest setup. I don't know what you'd be playing on that. That's a nice looking chair though. And here's how you actually access the levels in this game. And this is our little world map. I thought the character was going to start speaking again, but no. This is where we pick our levels. And now, here's how we're going to do this. This path right here, I've already played the game. This path right here is basically the canon story, so to speak. As in, if you play through till the end, you get the credits. I assume that's like how the game is supposed to end, but there's still tons more. So I think what we're going to do, in order to have the structure of this Let's Play be nice and cohesive, because I don't just want to do everything and then leave that for last, or do that first and then leave everything. We're basically just going to space it out. So we're going to do this, and then maybe we'll do a stage over here, and we'll do it nice and even. We'll distribute the stages evenly. The difficulty might be a bit schizophrenic, but that's okay, because this game really isn't super hard. Either way, let's go into the initial entry, the first, real level of the game. And here we are. This is the true intro to Coilworks. That's the developer. Cloudbuilt. That sounds like the name of a game, doesn't it? It sounds like a Factorio-esque RTS. Someone's probably going to end up doing that. Either way, this is how you're actually supposed to play the game. Ooh. At important points during the level, tutorial prompts will freeze the game, like this. Yeah, I know. I think we can disable that, can we? Game, blah, 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 disable. Yeah, okay, get rid of that shit. There you go. Much better. Because we don't need tutorials, really. This is a very self-explanatory game. These are your checkpoints. That thing in the corner is a portable checkpoint. I'll show you how to use those later. Bonk, you do take fall damage. Just a bit, not too much, but still, I'm still kind of like, why is there fall damage in this game? But it's not the end of the world. I mean, it stops you from cheesing certain things. These are your main obstacles, I guess you would say. You have to avoid them. And as you can see what I'm doing here, by hitting shift, I can do a little dash. Very much like one of those momentum-focused open-world 3D Sonic fan games, except there's also combat, as you can see. So I can zoom in, and I don't really recommend you do that too often because it's not really all that helpful. The meat of the game really is this right here, though. The wall running. God, that is so fun, and it requires very effective management of your fuel supply, right? Because, ow, I got hit. Actually, did I? Yeah, those right here. They put spikes on the top of some of the walls to stop you from, getting somewhere where you really shouldn't be. I think we're still following a bit of light, aren't we? The game is still in, like, semi-tutorial mode, but that's okay. This is pretty much the end of where... Oh, what's this? Hold L for... What? Oh, mouse L. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie, I beat the entire game without using that, like, apart from the tutorial. I had to, like, freaking parkour around those things. It turns out you can just blow them up. Well then, goes to show what happens when you're a forgetful little fuck like me. So either way, how are we gonna do this now? Oh, of course, we have to climb up. So you hold shift on any of the walls to run up. There you go. We gotta keep in mind, it is limited. You can't just go around willy-nilly fucking running around. You have to be wary of your power supply. How much fuel you have in order to continue using your abilities, and almost everything drains that power, like double jumping. See if there you go, do a couple double jumps like that, and it also drains it. I'm going to be real careful here. That is another portable checkpoint. In fact, let's just use one just to showcase how it works. I don't really need it, but boom, there you go. And now if I die, oh wait, it's activating. There you go. Except it resets everything around me, including the enemies, so that's going to be a bit of a funny thing to deal with, but that's okay. We're just going to do a little bit more jumping over here. Yeah, this is basically the flow of Cloudbuilt. It's running and wall running and shooting stuff and managing your fuel, as you can see, being very careful to make sure you have enough. And also, my favorite thing, which is dash jumping. It's very much like a... if Mega Man X7 were good, I guess, like a 3D Mega Man X style game, but with like mouse aiming and, fluid control, really great game flow. In fact, can I make it over there? Aw, fuck. You know, I kind of want to... no, I don't think I can make it over there. I might have to. No, there's no other way, though. Screw it, we got another checkpoint. So let's just do this and see if we can... Nope. Try it again. Try that again, come on. And we can make it over there. Cool, I basically... Well, there was no point in that because this checkpoint is now permanently here and I can't really remove... No, don't... Oh, god damn it. No. I just placed another one. I'm pretty sure you can... No, and I'm wasting them all. Okay, cool. I wasted all of my portable It's fine. You don't really need them because the game is not super stingy with normal checkpoints, and this is the first level. It's quite easy. It did take me a decent amount of time to really get accustomed to the physics system and the momentum in this game, the way it flows, the way it works, you know? I don't really have much of a point of reference because despite my love of fast-paced platformers, I haven't really played all that many of them in this kind. Either way, I think we're going to get a little more dialogue now, so let's go ahead and skip all this and get to that.
Alive after all, but barely. Reconstruction, repairs, integration. From inside this dream, it seemed distant enough to be something I imagined. Those words bring it back into sharp focus. We were torn to pieces by an explosion that should never have happened, caused by an enemy that shouldn't have been there. The weeks prior to all this, I had dreams about coming home. Both wonderful and horrifying, but it seems the dreams about combat are coming back, different from before. There is clarity in my goals and movements. I feel powerful and focused. I am alone. It's only inside this room that I worry about the others. Who else might have survived and what remains of them? Perhaps that's why it's so tempting to leave and enter the chaos outside. But is chaos all it is? What if there's a message in what I see when my mind isn't padded by these walls?
Well, that was quite the lengthy monologue, wasn't it? Yeah, this game, I don't want to say it's, like, heavy-handed with its narrative, because it's all very abstract and implied. This game does a lot of telling, not so much showing, because I believe it understands that that's not really what you're here for. I do like the narrative because it's very... I haven't really heard that many stories of this kind of thing before. It's like, you got this character who's apparently a war veteran of some kind, like they've been in a war and, you know, things went wrong, because they always do. And then now they're trying to find their memories back or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but it is very tastefully presented, I must say, but it's never really shoved too deep in your face. You can literally skip all of that. I could have just walked up to the bed and you know, instantly initiated this next stage. Now, this is not the next level in the order of the, as I said, the expected progression. This is the first Ruins level, because again, this game kind of sort of has like these branching pathways in a way. And in a way, very good commentary here. That's what you're here for. And so either way, we are basically just going to be completing stages. Now, I think the one I'm going to complete after this one, and that might be the last one for this episode, again, I don't want to have these be too long, will be another one of those actual main story, because I want to try and keep everything balanced, you know? I really would hate it if the game ended, quote-unquote, even when there's more left. I mean, of course, if we end up getting to the end of the main level tree before it really is time for us to be there, then I just won't complete that final level until it's time. But at the same time, I don't want it to be all left, you know, for one long session, if that makes sense. I want it to be balanced. So, with that in mind, this is the first, like, real level. Like, now we're no longer in tutorial mode. We're running through, and wow. I love environments like these. They're so weird, so abstract. Also, the soundtrack in this game is fantastic. Well, no, it's not quite... It's not accurate to call this abstract level design. It's specific. Like, it has an idea. It's like these floating ruins, but it's so fantastical, you know? And I love this sort of art direction because it lends itself perfectly to this kind of level design. It makes perfect sense for it contextually, right? And the soundtrack is also really good in this game. Listen to this. not like a ton of variety musically in this game. It follows a lot of the same motifs depending on the area that you're in, but they are very fun to listen to and very well produced. I really love this kind of instrumentation with like the synths and stuff, while also having a lot of natural like acoustic instruments and such. It's really great. Like the production is fantastic. You really wouldn't think that this was like a relatively inexpensive indie game, you know? It's not like one of those super cheap ones, but it's also not a full price AAA game, right? And so it's quite impressive seeing what the developers are able to produce with their limited resources. And goddamn, I mean, like, obviously the art style does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to allowing them to get away with much simpler texture work, but it's still very detailed. I mean, look at how rich these textures are, you know? I'm talking a lot about the production right now, but that's because that's the first thing that really catches my eye with any... Oh no, we've fallen. With any game. And there's really... I can't say there's a ton to talk about when it comes to the gameplay, outside of the fact that it is smoother than okay, I can make like a really like an insult in really poor taste, like smoother than the brains of insert someone that you don't agree with. No, that's stupid. We're not going to do that. But regardless, what I mean is it's just butter, man. It flows beautifully. Oh. My foot is clipping through the terrain. That is, okay, I think there was actually a setting in the options for that, which I've disabled, haven't I? Hold on. What was it? Game, and then, like, hide timer. No, there was something. There was something in here. The additional settings, yes, there it is. Enable visual offset, which I believe kind of pushed the character around to prevent that from happening, but I don't know, I don't really care for those kind of things. I find it charming whenever that kind of thing happens, you know? It reminds you it's a video game, like really, it's like, I will shed a tear when the days of associating video games with like things not looking super detailed will come to an end, because like, at this point, retro quote-unquote gaming is still fresh enough in collective culture that when you think of like a video game thing, you usually think of a very poorly rendered one, even though most games nowadays have beautiful rendering and look amazing. You know, I'm playing even games that aren't like super high budget, like this one from 10 years ago. You know, this game is 10 years old, and like, oh my god, look at this. To be fair, I have cranked the I've cranked the render distance. It's not a super demanding game. This is not like the kind of thing you do a video on fucking GTA 5, RTX, ENB, you know, that kind of shit. It's a very modest game, but it does a lot with what it has. And I think this is the end of the... Yep, this is the end of this stage. And I think we're going to get a little bit more talking from our protagonist. So let's listen to that.
This place is full of ruins. There might have been a structure here once, but it's crumbled to dust. If this means anything, I doubt it's a good sign. I don't know how much was left of my body after the explosion. Maybe ruins are what I have left to work with.
Sorry to cut you off there, but now we're doing a completely different level. This is the, I guess, third level type. As I said, there's like different level trees, you know, like paths that you can follow. And this is basically the third one, because I'm pretty sure it's not one of the main ones, and it's not the ruin level either. This is a completely different motif. Well, it looks fairly similar. Every level in this game kind of has the same general look, but this one's a little more, you know, focused on technology, obviously, with all these, you know, platforms, and but it still has the ruinous stuff and the vines. It seems to be a very common trope among these kind of momentum-based platformers to have, like, you know, ruins and also high-tech looking stuff with vines all over them. It's a very common visual motif, or maybe I'm just projecting because Sonic Frontiers. And yeah, that game is awesome, of course. And this is interesting because it came out like 8 years prior, but it's in no way similar, to be fair. Yes, they're both platformers. Yes, they're both fairly fast-paced, but this is a very different beast. I mean, this is completely different in terms of the way it flows, the fact that you have like all the zooming in, and the fact that it's primarily a PC game. I don't even know if it has a console release. Maybe it does. I don't really care, though, because I cannot imagine playing this with a controller. Oh, shit, okay. But having mouse and keyboard does not guarantee that I will be great at it. It's just that I'll be slightly less terrible at it. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that just feels so good to master and to just flow right through effortlessly. And it takes a lot of practice, you know. You're not just going to be jumping right in. Fuck, yeah, see that kind of stuff. You're not going to jump right in and get super good at it instantly. I mean, I've been playing for quite some time now, and I'm not even that great, you know? And that's because there's a lot of similarities to stuff like arena shooters almost in the movement, you know? Okay, it's not like Quake or anything, but you definitely have to be aware of your character's weight, their presence on the screen, and generally how to just maneuver around the environment as efficiently as possible without wasting too much of your... See, that fuel, because you gotta stop. It's not even so much about, like, dying. The punishment really is just... Come on, there you go, have it fuel up. And that's why you want to be very aware of those pickups all over the stage. And wow, that was very short. You know what? I'm not ending the episode here. Let's do one more level after this, one of the main stages as I call them, and then we'll finish it off.
What if these experiences are the very opposite of a message? What if they're a deliberately structured lie? The path that led me here was nothing like this. The future will be nothing like this. There won't be a second chance. The last months have been a series of increasingly slim first chances. We had to take them, but we knew the risks, and maybe I was just lucky to make it out alive. It's been tempting not to think about the past. But my memories are intact. I have no excuse for taking the easy way out.
Alrighty, we're going to be ending the episode with this level called Beyond the Walls. This is the, I guess, the second level in the main story progression, if that makes sense. You know, again, you have these different narratives, and I really think it's a very unique way to approach the game because the difficulty scales pretty naturally among them. Or I guess, should I say within them, except that you still get that variety, you know, because you never want to be stuck doing, like, looking at the same kind of levels and doing the same kind of challenges. This is very, very similar to the last level we did, though, aesthetically, but this game does get quite varied in terms of the lighting in particular. The assets stay the same. Like, at this point, we have seen every single bit of geometry and texture work we're going to see for the game, but it's still able to remain visually diverse thanks to the lighting and different conditions that you're in within these stages. Hold on, we gotta charge it. Is this one not breakable? Yes, it is. There you go. I had no idea. I would just platform around those, but you know what? That's a good thing. That's a testament to how like well-designed this game is and how free-flowing the movement system is. The fact that I could just ignore one of its main mechanics and still get by because I was so free. Ow, my face. Now, let's lay down a checkpoint. This may be a bit of a waste, but still, I just want to showcase the fact that they work. Oh man, the music on this one's really great too. This is one of my favorite motifs for this, for the different melodies that this game has. Listen to this. It's really repetitive, but in a good way. It's just really catchy. And it has a great sense of atmosphere. Like, I mean, it's not like super atmospheric, but you know, it's one of those like fun, like, you listen to it and you get a sense of, you get a good idea as to where you would be listening to this in a video game context. I don't know if that makes sense, but I love talking about the music in video games. I mean, like, come on, I used to be primarily a music-focused channel. Ironically enough, before I actually learned how to make music, and now that I do video games. I don't know. That's just what I want to do, and it's fun, you know, sharing my... Oh, for you motherfucker. Yeah, okay. That can be quite tricky when you're not aware of where things are. You need to be very in touch with your surroundings in this kind of game. It's very much like classic Mega Man. Patience and observation, you know? You can't really rush in too much about prior knowledge of the stage. That right there should be the end. So, ow, my face, and I am, you know what, let's redo that section right there. As you can see, you can't just run in expecting to have, like, you know, a world supply of fuel. You're gonna have to do something like this. Get that one, jump back, there you go. Make sure to take advantage of any ledges that are not covered by spikes, because this game doesn't cover every single area with spikes. So what that means is that you can just kind of take a break somewhere, you know what I mean? For example, God, I'm almost dead. Like here, oh no, that's covered in spikes though. Damn it. Okay, but like if you do run across that kind of like here. Oh, I thought it would be one of those, but just not covered in spikes, because they're not all like that. So you can use that as a little resting ground to get your fuel back up. In fact, you can even get your fuel back by just hanging on a thing. Look, I'm getting my fuel back just by hanging. So you can definitely take advantage of that to make some of the stages more manageable. Again, the game starts out very, very forgiving, and it gets more difficult, but it never becomes ridiculous. This is not in any way like a 3D Super Meat Boy. So yeah, I'm hoping that you've been enjoying this part at least. We're gonna get a little bit more monologue from our protagonist here, and then we'll end the episode. So I guess we'll let our protagonist here close the video off, but I'll see you guys next time.
What sort of message could there possibly be in all this? I've seen the veterans who have gone through these repairs. They live decent lives, as decent as life gets while the war is still raging, but they are not fit for combat. So why am I thrust back onto a battlefield every time I leave the room? On the other hand, it's all very different. The events that brought me here couldn't happen in this world. Everything is within reach here. It reminds me of what I imagined when I first heard of the concept of military cybernetics as a kid. But when I enlisted, those thoughts were far behind me. So why are they surfacing again now of all times?